Look at her little bath. She got the little smoke going with the bubbles. I'm about to get in your water. Sure. This what we doing? Teach me how to treat myself then. You know, when we aggressively choose to deliver advice or a message or parenting or whatever, it's not being received. So we're really trying to help our offspring or each other by telling them XYZ. But the aggressive way that we're doing it already shuts them down. Think of if somebody comes up to you on the street and is like, you need to do. And what they're telling you is helping you. But you ain't listening to shit they say because of the way they saying it. Parents, why don't you ain't listen to me? Your tone, Nick. Check your tone. Your kids can't say, but I can. Check your tone. Alright, so here's a real video I wanted to record today. I wanted to talk about being slow to be offended. Being offended started from our childhood, assumably. You know, I don't know everything. I don't know nothing. Don't listen to me. Do listen to me. Flip past my video. We learn how to be offended because as children, our parents would come to us, and a lot of times they came to us such an aggressive way. When our parents correct us, they don't correct us nicely. They coming in here making us feel just freaking terrible about making the same mistake that they probably made when they were our age, not acknowledging that they still out here making mistakes. Chill out, homie. You can really correct me without reprimanding me. And so as a child, we can't say anything back. We got to sit there and take it. And all we're sitting here and we're thinking, man, if I could cuss your ass out, I would. But guess what? When we become adults and now our spouses are giving us redirection, we cussing them out because we can. But the redirection they're giving us isn't necessarily something that's hurting us. When two people come together, it's one individual and one individual. Those two individuals need to come together and figure out who they are together. I know people are like, you ain't gonna change me. That's where you're wrong. You must change for your forever. Until you're married, you're single. My sister used to say that, and I didn't really understand what she was saying. But the things that are necessary for you to be married, nobody gets that but the person who has chosen to commit forever to you. When I tell you being married ain't easy, so once you decide that you're going to be in a relationship, and you can put your little training wheels on and all your little practice relationships. Like I told my daughter earlier, people are going to flow in and out your life, in and out your life. And to choose to get attached to those people who are more than likely temporary, reason, season, lifetime, is your choice. So you're also choosing disappointment. You're also choosing hurt. You're also choosing everything that comes with someone who was in your life, no longer being in your life. So just take the moment, take the experience. These are your training wheels. Because eventually you're going to be able to take those training wheels off and you're going to find your steadfast person and you'll be ready for that steadfast person. Because think about every person you cried over and you really think back, you're like, I don't really like that much anyway. Back to being slow to get offended. So now we're adults and we can finally talk back to the people who are trying to redirect us. But we need to be okay with the redirection, but we also have to be mindful of how we deliver that redirection. And that's on the let's become us side of things. I don't like when you do this, when you say this, when you do this hurts my feelings, and we can't get offended because someone is being open and honest enough to let us know the handle with care instructions for them. And it's our responsibility to listen to them and read their handle instructions and handle them accordingly. Not to get offended and have an argument and argue with them why you're going to stay the same. How are you going to join with someone but refuse to join? There's definitely going to be a part two. Who you are today should not be who you are tomorrow. Who I was 2 months ago isn't who I am today. So for anybody who's gonna pull up something I said 2 months ago or further, that shit's irrelevant. So to try to hold somebody to something they did in their past is really stupid, because who is really the same? Even the person who's saying you did this, they're not even the same person. And couples, they get caught in this cycle because they're so used to all this stuff that happened in the past dictating what's happening in their present. So you're having arguments based on past energy. Like I posted that video the other day where my husband said he loves me, and I almost responded to him like, I may not show you that I love you, but I do. I show him I love him every day. I didn't do that in the past, but I do that now. So for me to say that today is irrelevant. And me and him You know, we struggle because I know that I have changed at a cellular level, but he's still waiting for me to revert back to the person I was before. And I'll introduce to you guys the books that I have read that helped evolve my life, and maybe they'll help evolve your life. But really, you can read every book under the sun, and until you are ready to apply what you're learning in these books, you're not going to get anything from it. Because I've read every book under the sun. I haven't, but I've read a lot of freaking books. And in the moment while I'm reading it, I'm feeling the energy and I'm doing those things. But once I put the book down, I stop. But this last time when I woke up in June and said I'm going to change my life, the books that I chose to read 2 books. And then I did a lot of YouTubing. But I was fully 100% committed that the principles that I read in the 4 agreements, I applied them to my life. Damn, I went way off track. But that was some good stuff. Yes, dear, because this is wisdom. The older we get, the more we realize that does not matter. When we're younger, we want to change the world, not focusing on the fact we need to change our world. And changing our world is what changes the world. So we ain't got time for people's BS when we get older. We too busy working on us. Y'all, I'm out here trying to chill, and this bee f***ing with me. I'm trying to be copacetic with the bees, but these bees, they tested me. They asses is the ones almost extinct. They better watch out. They fighting a losing battle right now. But yeah, the reason why we are slow to get offended, or we should come to a space of being slow to get offended, is we have to know the heart of the person. And that's why couples clash, because they're thinking that this person is my enemy. Because the same way that this person is speaking to me and my enemy speaks to me, looking kind of familiar. And we gotta check that. We can't talk sideways to the people we say we love and expect them not to respond the same way that they would to someone talking sideways to them. But we also, on the flip side, and this is why me and Dre can joke with each other at the capacity that we joke together, because we understand that what this person is saying isn't meant to be hurtful. Even if that is hurtful. Dre hurt my feelings on a daily basis, but he doesn't, because I understand who he is. You gotta learn your partner. We're walking through the garage and he looks at one of my art pieces and he's like, her nose looks like a pitchfork. The next day we're walking through the garage and he's like, her feet look like hooves. And I'm looking at the back of this head like, man, I'd have slapped one of these bees like I want to slap the back of his head. I should act like there was a bee on the back of his head and slap that shit. But I had to go inside of myself, and I felt the sting of it. I was like, I'm sensitive about my art. Bear in mind, I'm an artist, and I'm sensitive about my shit. Damn real, Miss Badu. Me too. But he doesn't necessarily know that I hold that sensitivity. He doesn't necessarily know that what he said was something that was triggering for me. So am I supposed to blast off on him and ruin our entire night just because he said something that actually was offensive? Especially knowing he wasn't trying to be offensive, he thought he was funny. So then I have to choose to not get offended. I can also choose to say something to him, and he can choose to receive what I say. It's all about delivery and being able to receive constructive feedback. Couples have to be able to communicate. Every couple that has gone the distance says communication is key. I add open and honest communication. Dre is the first man I've been with that I can truly be myself with. And I think Dre can be himself around me. I really don't know what that nigga told you. Every year he reveals some to me. 6 years in and he just finally told me my singing hurts his ears. And yep, I sure did say I wanted to slap my husband in the back of his head. He's probably the first man I've ever dated where I can actually verbalize that and it not start an argument. Of course he ain't watched the video, but he's secure enough in himself that he doesn't have to have those outward reactions to stuff. That's a maturation thing. It's a maturation where we get to the point and we don't have to be old to be mature. I ain't calling myself old, but I waited way too long to mature into this space. That's why I'm making all these damn videos, because if I can encourage someone to just cut a decade off of their journey, it took me 4 decades to get here. Maybe you could do it in 2. And just think, if our parents stop messing us up, or we stop messing up our kid, we could do this in 1 decade. Out the womb being progressive. Sliding right on out like, oh. Ain't nobody beating your individuality out of you. Ain't nobody telling you can't do nothing right. Ain't nobody putting so much crap on you that by the time you turn 18, you spend half of the rest of your life trying to figure out who the fuck you are. Yeah, that's why I'm filming these videos. When I was younger, I wanted to be Dear Abby, so go on and ask me a question. Call it Dear Lonnie. I got you. And now I gotta go pick up a kid.